I'm taking a video log for my friends and family and possibly for anybody that is dealing with the same issues as I am. Um, just a brief history of my epilepsy journey. I was diagnosed when I was 9. They related it to my hormones. They told me I would grow out of it when I was in my early 20s, but here I am, 32, and still dealing with all this crap. Anyway, I've tried multiple medications. Some worked. They took me off Depakote. That was working when I was younger, and I just found out today they take kids off of that, females, so they don't have birth defects when they have kids. I decided at a very young age that I was never going to carry because I didn't want to pass this on to my child, or possibly get hurt, have a seizure, and lose the baby while pregnant. So going forward, my seizures were pretty well controlled. I had like 1 or 2 a year, and I could usually pinpoint what was the cause. I didn't get enough sleep the night before. I was drinking or doing something I shouldn't have been doing when I was younger. Stress level has a big impact on my seizure activity. But yeah, when I was younger, hormones really played a huge part. So I would have, seizure activity always around my periods when I was younger. Changed as I got older, along with my auras always changed, but anyway. Now before I get into the whole vaccine thing, I just want to say I don't give a shit where you stand on vaccines. I don't care if you're anti-vax, I don't care if you're for it, I don't care if you got your shot or if you're getting it, I don't care about the boosters, I don't give a shit. This is about my epilepsy journey. So if you don't give a shit about that, then fuck off. I had the Moderna shot, my first one in the beginning of April. My second one was May 6th or May 7th, and it clearly had a negative impact on my epilepsy and my hormones. Now, like I said, I'm not anti-vax. I don't care if you are, but like my wife's pregnant right now and she had her shots, and the baby's healthy, she's healthy. So if you have something negative to say about it, fuck off. Anyway, before I got the shot, I asked my doctor if it was cool. She said it was fine. After I got the second shot, my seizure activity level skyrocketed. I was having a seizure a week, along with auras left and right, which usually occurred late at night, so I could still go to work and everything, but it was pretty difficult trying to live a normal life. So I reported all those seizures to my doctor, and they reported it to the DMV, so I lost my license for supposedly 6 months. But just a continuation of my last video. Sorry I got interrupted. I just did the strobe light portion of the EEG. I'm sure it'll happen again, but fun stuff. I love flashing lights just a few inches from my head. So yeah, I got my license taken away for 6 months, supposedly, but somebody in my doctor's office reported to the DMV that the seizure activity was due to the vaccines and that it ceased. So the DMV ended up giving my license back, and that's why I was driving again. So yeah, going forward, the activity level was still increased. It usually happened when I was super stressed out, but my job stresses me out, my family stresses me out. Love you guys, but calm down. So yeah, it's obviously something was wrong. Obviously it was messing with my hormones. Yeah, it sucked. So fast forward, I was at work and I was feeling a little funky, but the activity doesn't happen that early, so I kind of just brushed it off. On my way home, I started to feel like I was having an aura, but it's hard to determine. It's really hard to describe an aura unless you have your own, and even then, usually everybody's is different. So I called Sam, my wife. I pulled over. She told me to. Like at that point, I wasn't really thinking too coherently. So I pulled over, but I didn't put my car in park. My car ended up drifting back into my neighbor's driveway. I took out their lamppost, and a few of their boulders. I moved with my car, which stopped my car from rolling all the way down the hill, so thanks, neighbor. But yeah, the police came, we reported it, we reported the crash to my doctor's office. Luckily my neighbor has more money than God, so he could give two shits that I took out his lamppost. And luckily I didn't hurt anybody else, and I didn't get hurt myself too bad, but that's irrelevant. Anyway, so my doctor, I got in contact with her and she wants to make some big changes. So here I am at Penn Med in Philadelphia. This is the first time I'm doing a long-term monitoring EEG. I've had regular EEGs before. Those I think I only have like 24, 26 electrodes. They usually last 45 minutes. Sometimes they're sleep deprived, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they show seizure activity levels, sometimes they don't show anything. I have done an ambulatory EEG, which is a 48-hour EEG that you take home. That showed nothing. That was with a previous neurologist. But I'm with Dr. Ragapathi at Penn Med now. When I reported it to her, she wanted to get me into the hospital immediately. So I was able to come the next day, and here I am at the EMU. I don't know what that stands for, but I'm at the EMU for a long-term monitoring EEG. So while I'm here, they will be weaning me off my medication. They will be doing the strobe light, which they just did to try and induce the seizure. Those strobe lights haven't affected me since I was a kid. I guess it's something you can grow out of. Every epileptic's case is different, so what happens to me is not going to happen to the next person. Anyway, so they just did this strobe light. They might give me alcohol to try and induce it. I told them to try and stress me out, tell me, something's wrong with Sam, and freak me out that way. That'll definitely set me off. They're gonna make me sleep deprived, so there's going to be evenings where I will be awake until 3 a.m. in the morning. I think that's all they're gonna try, but we'll see. So this EEG, obviously there's a lot of things that are different. It's more involved. I'm always monitored. There's always somebody here. I have an emergency button in case I have an aura. If I have a seizure, obviously I'm not going to be able to hit it, but I'm hooked up to not 24 electrodes. I think it's over 40 this time around. So there's somebody constantly monitoring it. They will be able to tell if I'm having a seizure. I'm missing stuff, so I will keep you guys updated. I'll let you know how it all goes. Send prayers my way. Love y'all. So my epileptic ass forgot to say why we're doing a long-term monitoring EEG. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say, but anyway, the whole purpose of this is to monitor me, induce the seizure and pinpoint what part of my brain it's happening. So if it's if it's localized in a small portion of my brain, they will be able to operate on it and I could lead a normal life. If not, they're still going to control it by medication. Obviously they're going to switch it around because what I'm on is not working. But yeah, this is going to suck. Seizures suck. They hurt really bad. Even though I'm in a padded bed, it is going to suck. So, send prayers. Love you all.